basement of La Penta. It's WICR.
Good morning. Welcome to Monday mornings here on WICR. This is the final show of the fall 2016 semester. I'm Matt Ricker.
I'm Kate Adriani. Are you excited that it's the last one, or are you sad?
I'm sad. You know, I mean, I always look forward to this show on Monday. It's like the highlight of my Monday. You know, but at the same time, I'm ready for some time off. You know.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for time off, and then. Yeah, getting up early on a day that I don't have classes till 2. I mean, it's hard, but I did it, so there we
go. Yeah, but I can't believe that it's here already, or the end of the semester. It just really flew by, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I did. It started off with Radiothon on Friday.
Right. Yeah, that was really well planned. Thanks to you and Jill.
Oh well, thank you. I had that, and then I went home Saturday morning, so I didn't get back to my apartment. I think till 1:20ish. So I went to bed, got up, got on a train, went home, and then came back yesterday. So it was a good time to go home. So
that's good.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was good. Didn't do much really. I had tours on Saturday, but and then just basically took it easy yesterday. Did some work, trying to get a head start, before the craziness of the week. There's a few last minute things that I have to do before the end of the week, so
yeah,
and then I have a couple of finals, and then I'll be done. So,
yeah. When do you end finals?
Friday.
Not fair.
But there is a chance, because in one of my classes we're doing final presentations, and if we don't finish by tomorrow, we'll have to spill over into our period, which is on Monday. So, I mean, it doesn't affect me because I live in the area, but if I was somewhere else and I needed to catch a flight, that would really mess me up,
Yeah, exactly. I mean...
Yeah, it's only fair that everyone goes to, the final presentation, because...
Exactly, it's not fair that you have half of a class, only the people who are presenting go and not the other half. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not too bad. I end Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not too bad.
It'll go fast,
Yes, I'm sure it will.
But anyway, it was kind of a slow weekend.
Yeah, it was a slow weekend for news. There was no big blow-ups.
Yeah, no big bombshells for change. But one headline that I have right now is that Trump has confirmed that he will nominate Dr. Ben Carson as Housing and Urban Development Secretary. This was announced recently, and
I saw that this morning when I woke up. I didn't really think that was true, but I guess it is.
Yeah, and he said in a statement that he was thrilled to nominate Carson, adding that he has, quote, a brilliant mind and is passionate about strengthening communities and families within those communities. So I think it's a good choice. You need someone who is not, part of the normal political establishment. He's a very talented neurosurgeon who he's retired, and he used to work at Johns Hopkins University Hospital. So I think it's good that he brought in someone who is outside the normal political establishment. And Carson has recently downplayed having any role in the Trump administration, saying that he didn't know where he would fit in. But in a statement on Monday, the retired pediatric neurosurgeon said he felt, quote, make a significant contribution, particularly by strengthening communities that are most in need. He also said, we have much work to do in enhancing every aspect of our nation and ensuring that our nation's housing needs are met, he said. And now basically his role would just be to focus on all housing and in the urban communities across the nation, overseeing, affordable housing and and such. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Glad he accepted. He also, was a presidential candidate earlier in the cycle, but dropped out due to lack of support and failing in the polls in the primaries. But also, I don't think last week I mentioned this because I did read all of Trump's nominations for all these positions. But I think mid last week he announced that he'll nominate retired Marine General Mattis as Secretary of Defense, and so he'll be overseeing the Pentagon and everything like that, and he has extensive experience in the military, and that's someone who we need. Obviously, for Secretary of Defense, I would hope that they would, do that. But glad to see that there. And now, last week we were talking about Secretary of State contenders. Now the search has become wider. So now there's more people he's looking at, aside from the 6 people.
Well, I'm sorry. There's 6 people. That's plenty enough.
Now I think there's
enough.
9. There's 9.
You should not be going up. You should be going down with your choices and choosing one person.
I know. And let's see. So it says that this is according to Fox News. This is an article online. And it says President-elect Trump has widened his search for Secretary of State beyond his short list of Mitt Romney and 3 others. Senior advisor Kellyanne Conway said on Sunday. She said, quote, "It is true that Trump has broadened the search." She told this to reporters at Trump Tower. She also went on to say he continues to talk to different people. I think you've all seen the list that has already existed, and I think there'll be additional interviews with other candidates. The transition team on Thursday officially confirmed that Trump had narrowed the list to 4. Then sources told Fox that the names were Romney, the former Massachusetts governor,
the one who ran for president.
Yeah, and the 2012 Republican presidential nominee, then former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, Tennessee GOP Senator Bob Corker, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and retired General David Petraeus, a former CIA director. However, more names have surfaced, including John Bolton, a former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Rex Tillerson, Exxon's chief executive officer. That's odd for, Secretary of State. I mean, what does gasoline have to do with well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I mean, with oil on increased demand, but still, it just seems odd. And then most recently, John Huntsman, a former U.S. ambassador to China and Utah GOP governor whose daughter, Abby, is a Fox News general assignment reporter. Conway on Sunday declined to speak directly to reporter questions about Huntsman or others, but acknowledged the list has grown to 4 candidates. Mitt Romney was taken out to dinner by Donald Trump last week, and at a fancy French restaurant in one of Trump's buildings that he owns. And I read something that the menu included having onion soup with the side of frog legs. So
that sounds disgusting, especially at 9:15 in the morning. I'm sorry, but that's just gross. Frog legs do not sound appetizing.
No, I definitely wouldn't go for the frog legs, but probably the onion soup. Yeah. I take the onion soup. Never mind the frog legs. I'll give that to the dog.
I would just not eat. How about that? I would just not eat because that stuff sounds gross. Maybe it's because it's only 9 o'clock in the morning, but
no, it doesn't sound too appealing even at 3 o'clock in the afternoon either. But yeah, no. So it's still ongoing. The Trump transition still underway, but experts have said that this transition process is actually going faster than it has with other presidential candidates. Of course, it's a tough process because they only have until inauguration, which is January 23rd, and they want to get these things done. So yeah, yeah, no. So hopefully all these picks will be beneficial. But also on in other news, there was a massive warehouse fire in Oakland, California. It was such a bad fire over the weekend. I believe it started on Friday. And now there's new information that the owner of the fire is under investigation, and the recovery efforts in Oakland, at the Oakland warehouse fire, are painfully slow. Authorities said Sunday that the death toll in the fire had risen to 33 and that teenagers were among the victims. Officials estimate that between 35% and 40% of the partly collapsed structure remains have been searched as of Sunday afternoon, and crews clearing debris were expected to find more bodies as they advanced, according to Alameda County Sheriff. Late Sunday, officials said they identified 8 victims, one of whom was 17 years old. The person's name was not made public. So very sad indeed. And as many as 100 people were there for a party on Friday night when the fire broke out just before midnight, and fire officials are still investigating the cause of the blaze, but they say that clutter fueled the flames, and there were no sprinklers installed or fire escapes in the building.
See, that's a problem. That building's not up to health code, so I think there's that as an issue. I don't know. I think if there's no fire escape, there's nowhere for people to go, which is just not okay in a situation like that.
Yeah, no, but our thoughts and prayers are with them. Hopefully, the recovery effort will go more smoothly, and they can identify all these people so that they can put their families, let their families know. Of course, that won't be easy, but. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's all the news. As I said, it was a kind of slow weekend. Of course, you have the devastating fire and then Trump's recent picks for cabinet. But I think that wraps up some national news and politics for today. And later on, we may have some entertainment. And you have what do you have coming up next in sports?
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with sports. It was a big sports weekend, especially for the New York area, and then for our college games as well, because those bowl games came out.
Yeah, and not to give anything away, but the Giants, they lost yesterday.
They put a horror. I will get into it, but they were bad. They were just bad.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, and also during the commercial break, we'll be playing some Christmas music. So, trying to really get into that spirit there. All right, so we'll be right back. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, and we'll see you back in a few minutes.